700 WW. Kids in my neighborhood ready back to school. Yours soon. It's amazing how early they started. And, of course, it brings a lot of things. Shiny new backpacks, new and old friends, and abstinence education if your kid is of a certain age. Middle schoolers learning about sex education or getting the sex ed. And this has been going on since they started this in public schools. Is that there are a number of parents, not all, but a number of parents that wind up getting upset over sex education, what they're talking about in classrooms, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. The other night, I don't know if you saw this, Higate Lamore on 19 did a piece about, and she went in to try and find exactly what is taught in the classes, and this is mind-blowing to me, is that she couldn't find out what was being taught in local schools, because literally every school, if not district, is different in what their curricula is. And as you know, anything that's in a public school is public information, as it should be. And she couldn't find out. They wouldn't tell her what exactly and how they teach sex ed to our kids, which makes you scratch your head and wonder if this has to do with the abstinence-only education. Joining me on 700 WLW is Jim Helton from Tri-State Free Thinkers. Jim, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So, first of all, what's wrong with abstinence education? What's wrong with it?
It's actually harmful to children, and it only has a 2% success rate. They're not just teaching abstinence. Like, I'm a fan of abstinence in middle school. My kids are in middle school, so I'm not against abstinence. But they're teaching abstinence only till marriage, and it only has a 2% success rate. So they're also lying to our kids. Let me give you a few examples of what they're teaching. One of the things is from Alicia. This is word for word. It says, sex is like pre-chewed chewing gum. Is that what you want to present to your husband? What does Alicia mean by the example of pre-chewed chewing gum? I mean, it's horrible.
I'm just trying to present that image of, so if you have, and you're a woman and you have a sex partner or multiple sex partners by the time you get married, which now we know isn't happening until your 30s, what you're saying is that your giblets are all worn out. That's kind of a antiquated thought, isn't it? I mean.
Yeah, and they even had Elizabeth Smart on there, who was sexually abused and abducted, and this was what was taught in her school. How did that make her feel when she had sex against her will? What that would make women feel? It's very, very degrading to women.
And I'm pretty sure biologically it doesn't turn into used gum.
No, not at all. They also talk about, like, here's another one for Lauren. It says, I gave in to peer pressure and had sex. Now that I've made the decision to wait until marriage, why did Lauren choose to be a renewed virgin? That's something I learned from this book. I didn't know that was possible.
A renewed virgin?
Yeah, you can be. They're teaching kids they can be a renewed virgin. They're also.
Let me hold on a second. Hey, my producer Tater. Hey, guess what? You're a renewed virgin. It's not by choice, by the way.
So, and this is probably the most horrible one. They have a myth and fact section. Like, what about safer sex? And here's the myth. If you use a condom, you will be protected from getting STDs or becoming pregnant. Fact, condoms can't protect you from a broken heart.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. So kids, if there's a large percentage of children that take the virginity pledge for the abstinence only, they have a higher increased STD rate. They're also less likely to seek treatment. They have higher pregnancy rates, abortion rates. States that teach abstinence only, like Kentucky, is in the top 10 for teen pregnancy. Texas is up there. If you have a school that teaches comprehensive sex ed as state law, they're one of the lowest in the country. And there's only 13 states that require comprehensive sex ed. And there was a bill, now this will shock you, there was a bill in the state of Kentucky that was proposed in 2011 that said, what you teach for sex ed should be medically and scientifically accurate. It failed.
Wow, so he can't even teach what's medically truthful.
Correct.
You know, the part about this, I get it, because no parent wants to have that conversation with their kid. No one wants to sit down and have it talk about the birds and the bees and condoms, contraception, or just have it talk about why not to have sex, because it's just, it's icky. And most parents don't talk because it's uncomfortable for mom and dad. The kids don't like being talked to in those fashions by mom and dad because they picture mom and dad naked doing it to conceive them. And it's just, there are no winners in that. And that's why fewer parents talk about sex with their kids. And, you know, unfortunately, we live in a real world where young men and young women get together. I would say this, for those people that think abstinence-only education is the cure-all ignore it, don't talk about it. That's fine, but you shouldn't exert your influence on public schools. Save that for private institutions. If you want to homeschool your kid, and many Christians do that, which I don't have a problem with, and certainly parochial schools are wonderful at that. If that is your mindset and your belief structure, then again, do that in areas where you control it. I don't think it's appropriate for public schools, considering if you look at all the problems we have, especially in urban neighborhoods and to some degree rural areas as well, it has to do with people who are having kids who aren't being responsible.